Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back. This is a sample video for our latest podcast episode number 124, which is a potluck podcast.
In which we discuss a variety of topics, including the new JOAQUIN Phoenix video.
We also respond to troll comments that were left on an ad for the new vegan REEBOK shoes.
We review a very handy new vegan app.
And we discuss a vegan listener's situation involving her students and sheep.
We also talk about Soyboy milk, vegan steak, as well as read out a few complaint emails that we've sent to non-vegan companies and their responses.
You complaining, Luca? No.
Never.
That was fun. So you can listen to the full podcast episode on Patreon, which is linked below in the description. And of course, this is just a short sample of a very long conversation.
Thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you in the next video.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Anyway, so the final thing, talking about milk. So we get into the restaurant. We had to wait a little bit for the table to be ready for us. And at the bar, they had all their different plant-based milk options up on the shelf. And one of them is a brand called Happy Soyboy milk. And I've heard of this and I've seen it online, but I've never seen it in real life. And tell me what you guys think listening. I think this is a really silly thing in so many ways. I think it's catering to vegans, and I think it's funny as a vegan. Like, okay, you want to tease us about being soy boys, then we're going to claim it and own it and turn it around and make a business about it. Fine, I think that's funny for us, but I think it is so flawed in reaching out to carnists, which is what we need to be doing. No carnist wants to drink soy boy milk. That's not appealing. That's not winning them over. I guess I was just thinking, for any other carnist that does understand this, why would they be willing to drink happy soy boy milk? It's like it was made within the vegan bubble for the vegan bubble. And I'm like, people, we need to really burst that bubble right now, because we're all on board. We get it. We don't need to make products for ourselves. We need to make products that reach beyond the bubble.
Yeah.
That's how desperate this situation is.
Yeah.
It's not funny for the animals.
No.
You know, it's funny for us. I get it. But just no on so many levels.
Absolutely. And also because that the soy boy, the word boy, it's such a derogatory negative connotation the way it's used, because of course it means that essentially you're not a man if you drink soy, you're a boy. And every man wants to be a man. Especially a 65-year-old carnist, right?
That's the impression, that if I eat meat, I eat a steak, I'm a man.
And if I don't do all of that, it makes me a boy. And that's one step away from saying to a man it makes you a woman when the man doesn't want to be a woman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which of course, if you want to, like, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously.
But if you don't want to,
if a man wants to be a man, then he doesn't want to be drinking something that's, calling him a boy.
Yeah.
It's just, I just thought it was, I just don't agree. I really don't agree. I think it's not only, is it not any good? I think it's detrimental. Yeah, I think it's irresponsible. So that's our opinion. I don't know. What does everyone else think? All right, next thing we wanted to talk about, this is quite funny because we have a little joke at home where we, how we complain a lot, we whine a lot. And so we have this thing called the complaints department, just like between us. And so if I'm complaining, Luca will say complaints department's closed, and vice versa, when we basically don't want to hear each other whining. Anyway, so because we whine a lot, we actually write to companies sometimes if we have a problem with something.
Quite often. I wrote to I don't know whether we mentioned this in a recent podcast, to a gelateria that doesn't offer vegan gelato, and they only have sorbet, which is in our book not.
No, it doesn't count. Sorbet is just,
gelato is gelato, sorbet is sorbet. I don't want a sorbet, I want a gelato.
It's like a Seinfeld episode, right? Yeah. So part of, our thing is to just let these companies, these organizations, these restaurants, whoever it is, know and give them our feedback.
Yeah.
So complaints department is open. Yeah. Anyway, so we have another complaint to read out to you guys. And we got a response from the company the other day. And I'm like, save it for the podcast, because your email to them I thought was wonderful. And this is an example of what we can do as vegans in our everyday lives. Complain. Yeah. Be a pain in the butt.
And I give them a vegan sandwich as well.
I know.
So, hi.
Now, hold on. Who's the company?
Oh, the company's Grilled, which is a popular burger franchise here in Australia. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it's not vegan, but they do have vegan options.
Yes.
Hi, we are writing to let you know of something you might not be aware of. Firstly, this is the vegan sandwich part, thank you very much for offering burgers that don't involve needlessly killing innocent, vulnerable animals and contributing to the destruction of our shared environment, aka vegan burgers.
Because if you're reading anything other than that, then you are contributing to the destruction of the environment.
And the needless killing of innocent, vulnerable animals.
Yeah, so reading to that.
I said, we've eaten many vegan burgers all around the world and yours is up there with the very best. Likely the best in Australia at least. So a huge thank you to Grilled. We've since ordered it in person because I spoke about how we'd ordered it online previously. In one of your restaurants on around 4 occasions. However, you may not be aware that it is not listed as an option on the printed menus in this particular restaurant we visited. Had we not previously ordered it online from a couple of your other restaurants, we would not have known it was even a menu item. We've brought this to the attention of various restaurant staff members at that particular location over the past few months, and yet it has still to be added to their printed menus. And we last visited on April 21. We hope this is isolated to that particular restaurant and is not also the case at all grilled restaurants Australia-wide. Finally, a huge thank you to Grilled for the meat-free Monday 2-for-1 offer. It is truly outstanding value. Thank you for your time. We look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, Luca and Natasha. So I get a reply back.
I thought that was a really good email.
So they replied saying, "Hey Luca, great to hear you love our vegan burgers!" ! So
no acknowledgement.
No acknowledgement of, oh yes, our non-vegan. I acknowledge our non-vegan burgers do involve the needless killing of innocent, vulnerable animals and the destruction of our environment. I'm just going to let that one slide.
And mind you, you know their slogan.
At one point, JOAQUIN refers to the animals he witnessed at the slaughterhouse as vulnerable.
I loved that.
Yeah, this is such a powerful word that we deliberately choose to use all the time when talking about animals because it infers how we humans take advantage of the vulnerability of animals. And I feel it subconsciously helps to dismantle the happy meat, milk, and eggs myth propagated by the animal products industries to dupe consumers into thinking that animals willingly and happily give us their bodies and the things that come out of them.
Yeah, spot on. I think as vegans and as activists and advocates, we should be using the word vulnerable as much as possible in conversations.
Yeah.
I think it's super, super powerful, as you said. And there was an ad from REEBOK, the shoe company, and they have a new vegan shoe that's just come out. Oh my goodness. The comments were ridiculous and hilarious, and basically there were like 3 main comments that were left that were just repeated by all the carnists. So people were saying, oh my goodness, I like my running shoes made from beef.
Just a typical carnist comment, isn't it?
Another person said something along the lines of, vegan, since when do we eat shoes? So this was an insight because I think the majority of people still think that veganism is about a diet, about the food.
Yes.
And they're not extending the animal abuse to what we wear, how we use animals in other way, right?
Exactly.